Okay, good evening, everybody. And sorry I am running a little behind here. Took a little while to get the live stream. I guess some of the rules have changed for live streaming, but I think we okay. So I think we are now streaming live on YouTube as well as to individuals who have signed up for the DFY Live Masterclass. So um, welcome. And we're going to go ahead and just jump right in. This is the DFY Live Masterclass for our Manus IM PLR, and you can get that at theplrshow.com/AI Agents Volume 1 or V1. And obviously, if you're an Ultimate Insider, you can get it at 50% off. You should be using your Ultimate Insider discount, where you can get that at theplrshow.com/insider new if you are logged in. So if you're logged in, you can use your insider discount to get the Manus PLR there. Um, and so the Manus PLR is basically the essentials course, which is the 20 tutorials where I go over the basics. And then the upgrade where which I am doing now, with you live. And this is where you will be able to allow me to edit this. And then you'll get unrestricted rights to the edited version. And then you get a bonus ebook along with it. And there are some other bonuses that I am doing with the Manus PLR. You can see them at theplrshow.com /new. And you can see all those at that location. And obviously, the best way to get all of our content is to become an Ultimate Insider. You can do that at theplrshow.com /insiders and or theplrshow.com /ultimate insiders, depending on how you want to pay. I think with insiders, if you want to use PayPal, you can use it there at theplrshow.com /insiders. And so let's get started. We're going to be talking about Manus, a lot of buzz about this autonomous agent and how you're going to use it in your online business when you are, again, I mean, you're probably a content creator or a product creator, or even some way you're communicating online. Manus can help you. And I do want to talk about what we're going to be discussing. We're going to go over as much as we can about Manus. And it is an autonomous agent with basically, instead of prompting back and forth with an AI, you're going to be allowing the AI to do some of the work for you and some of the thinking for you. And to say that an AI actually thinks is probably not quite exactly accurate, but it does predict what it is that you want, and it tries to go ahead and do that. And so what that does is that streamlines some of your operations, and it could change the way that you strategize. We're going to look at how the technology will help you to address bottlenecks. And this is very important because all of us have bottlenecks in terms of what keeps us from being as profitable as we are, in terms of helping our customers to do the same. And we're going to understand what the capability is for an AI agent like Manus. This is probably not going to be an optional element. Pretty much for the most part, this is the first part. This is the front line, the first time that these have been made popular, but they are coming. And Microsoft Copilot, if you watch their I think it was their meeting yesterday, autonomous agents are here. So it's not even a matter of when they're coming, they are here. You're going to see them in various forms. You're seeing them in humanoid robots, literal robots that people are purchasing to help them to operate in their homes, as well as with their business when they're using their computer. And so this is going to be strategic, right? Understanding what these autonomous agents do. Again, this is the first step in the process, and you're seeing it live in action here. So let's talk about Manus and how it's going to affect you as an information marketer. And it's a shift because basically what you're doing is you are really going to leverage artificial intelligence. Now, I know that you probably feel like, well, I already use ChatGPT, I already use Gemini. That really is leveraging AI to its fullest. But this is not like using a chatbot because, again, it does some things on its own. And so when I say autonomous, some of the thinking you're going to do and you're going to set it in motion, and then it's going to try to predict what else you want it to do. And it's going to go ahead and do some of those things also. And so instead of you coming back and going back and forth with the AI, it's going to try to figure out what it is that you should have asked, what it is you will ask. And so as of right now, you can do some of the workflows, but eventually you're going to be able to delegate an entire workflow. And so when you start talking about doing in-depth marketing analysis where you get some information back and you go back to the AI and you say, well, get more of this, Manus and these autonomous agents are going to go and do all of it. And they're going to put it into some form where you can digest it, where you actually dictate to it exactly the way you want it. And so this goes beyond automation. We've had automation. If you have Zapier, if you use Zapier or something of that nature, you basically have one process, it triggers another process, and it triggers another process. That's what automation is. This is more than that because it's prediction. It says, well, here's what I think needs to be automated, and I'm going to keep doing these things. And instead of you telling the computer what to do, you're going to be telling the computer what not to do. So in other words, it's going to go ahead and keep predicting and doing things. What you're going to be doing is you're going to say, no, don't do it that way, do it this way, right? You're going to stop the computer as opposed to start the computer. That's really the switch between what Manus is and what it's doing. And so as for you as an information marketer, right, you produce information out of your head, you either sell it or you use it to promote things. You're basically going to be taking everything that's time consuming and giving it to an AI agent. Whether you use Manus or not, Manus is the first step that you want to learn how these things work. You want to get used to this. What I will tell you is that a lot of the work that you're doing is probably going to be something that you're going to be giving over to an AI in order to do. So let's talk about what it means for you in terms of marketing. All right. So your job as a marketer, whatever it is you're selling, you're trying to get the right people in front of the right thing to hear the right message at the right time. And so an autonomous agent helps you to overcome any constraints you have in that process. So right now, think about whatever it is you're selling. You can be an affiliate, you can be a drop shipper, you can be an e-commerce seller. Basically, if you think about what's the right thing I need to be selling, who's the right audience, what's the right time I need to sell this, and how do I get in front of them? That's what marketing is. And so Manus can help you to undercut some of that process and take some of the time out of it, as well as some of the action out of it, especially when you're educating people. So if you're educating people to make a sale, Manus is going to take a lot of that process and make it available to you in ways faster than you've ever done it. And so when you start talking about becoming smarter about something, in other words, what's the market telling me? What should it be telling me? Manus is going to get you to that answer faster, right? It's going to say, here's what the answer is. Here's what you should be saying. In some cases, it'll eliminate that process of you trying to figure it all out and then getting something out into the public. Manus will probably do all those things for you. And again, I'm not saying that Manus is the end all be all in terms of autonomous agents, but I am saying that it represents what's coming. And so this is going to take some of the time investment out. So when you start trying to figure out what can you say uniquely, what can you do in a market that other people are not doing that people want? And that's an important question in everything you're selling. What can you offer somebody that they cannot get elsewhere so that people will have to come back to you to get it? And so if you do that market analysis and you do it quickly enough for whatever it is that you're selling, you're going to be able to get to your right customer faster. And you're going to be able to find out your USPs quickly. As an information marketer, everything that you sell has a USP. Everything that you are presenting has a USP. So in other words, when you create something out of your head, it's probably going to be unlike anything else anybody else has created. It operates with the USP. It's a matter of finding and putting yourself in front of the right people. And so some of this is going to be identifying constraints. So what is your constraint right now? And this is the application of the theory of constraints. And so you've got to face and find what your bottleneck is. Because even if you know what the problem is, sometimes you can't get to it fast enough in order to profit from it. And so if you can't get to it fast enough to profit from it, that's a bottleneck. There typically information marketers have a number of bottlenecks in their system. And you want to be able to eliminate them because those are only things that keep you from getting to the market. you don't have infrastructure problems. So you don't have to build anything. You don't have to worry about your physical surroundings. You're sitting behind a computer. So there really are no roadblocks to you getting in front of your customer, with the exception of all the other roadblocks in terms of you knowing what to do and being able to do it. So you've got to eliminate those bottlenecks because you can find your customer quickly and get the right thing in front of them with the right message at the right time. You might be constrained in terms of developing lead magnets. So in other words, you can't develop the right lead magnet to build the right kind of list in order to sell what you sell. Or you can't figure out exactly how to use direct response. Most of us, when we sell with a headline. We sell with empathy. We sell with bullets that emphasize the benefits and not necessarily the features. All of those things are things that are part of the classic copywriting framework, and they work because of human psychology. And so we still have to operate with those things. But if you can't do it fast enough, that's going to be a problem. It's a bottleneck. So that's just an example of something that could be in your way. Everybody's got to figure out what their bottlenecks are. And what you want to do is you want to leverage technology in order to help you to get over it. Every technology that you purchase should diminish a limitation you have. And that is from the theory of constraints. Theory of constraints says if you're going to buy technology, it needs to diminish a limitation that you have. And so you have to understand what your limitation is to get to profitability. That's really going to be the first thing. And so you've got to use these technologies, whether they are Manus or any other agent or even Chat GPT, to get rid of any limitation that you have. We just came across Chat GPT's image creator. Some people had a limitation in terms of being able to create the right image at the right time. Maybe you can't create an image that shows your customer in the goal position when you put it on your sales page. Now you can do that. ChatGPT helps you to overcome a limitation. It helps you to diminish that limitation. All technology that you use on an everyday basis, it needs to diminish a limitation. So determining what your limitations are is going to be important. That's what the theory of constraints does. And Manus can be strategically deployed to take all the less critical tasks in this process and put it in the hands of a computer that's going to predict some of the steps that you would be taking and going back and forth with the AI, again, so you can spend your brain power on the things that really matter. You can automate the initial research for identifying a real partnership. So what are your criteria in order to partner up with people? Well, you can eliminate some of that by allowing Manus to do some of the work for you. Maybe there's some partners you have no idea they're out there, but you can find them faster if you use something like Manus. I'm just going to kind of go back here. And again, I'll make that statement again. We are ready for the intermission. You can find that faster if you eliminate the drag on the process. Now, this is an intermission, and for those of you who are streaming with us live, I am going to be stopping the live stream, unfortunately. And what we will do is I will tell you that if you want to get the rest of this presentation, you can get this live presentation that I am doing with unrestricted rights. It is the upgrade to our Manus PLR. You can get it at theplrshow.com/AI agents V1, which stands for volume 1, because I'm going to be doing a lot of these. Or the best way to get it is to become an Ultimate Insider, because you get all of our content at 50% off the original launch price. So even after the launch price goes up, Ultimate Insiders get 50% off that original launch price. And so where most of our courses right now are listed at $27, and quite honestly, $27 is a bargain even at the full price. Ultimate Insiders are paying between $3 and $4 for those courses. You can become an Ultimate Insider at theplrshow.com/insider new. So again, the Manus PLR is 20 tutorials. The upgrade is this live workshop, and you can see the other bonuses at theplrshow.com/new. And then again, to become an ultimate insider, become an ultimate insider at the plrshow.com/insiders. If you need to pay, if you need to use PayPal, you can use it there, or you can get it at Warrior Plus, the plrshow.com/insiders. As an ultimate insider, you get one free funnel every month. And that free funnel includes 20 tutorials, a tutorial masterclass, and then a DFY live masterclass like we're doing right now. And then all of our courses, again, are 50% off the original launch price. When you are an Ultimate Insider, you'll get a platform to host and sell your courses. And then you'll be able to interact with me directly. And I am your standby on-demand coach. So you can interact with me anytime. And as you know, I don't do lots of talking unless you are an Ultimate Insider if you write in. But if you're an Ultimate Insider, you can write me at any time, and then I will be happy to give you the assistance that you need. So again, become an Ultimate Insider at theplrshow.com/insiders. And if you're not quite ready to sign up as an Ultimate Insider, you can get more of our content at theplrshow.com. And I would encourage you to sign up for our newsletter. And that is where we will discuss PLR every day. And I'll show you some of the latest offers, but both we have as well as others have that can help you to, excuse me, help you to build your business. Okay, so I think that that's going to be about it for the live stream. I am going to. I think I'm going to stop the live stream here. And so for those of you who have been with us live, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And we're going to go ahead and stop the live stream, and I will see you in another.